Hey, good afternoon. My name is Daryl Canada. One of the cybersecurity engineers here at the organization. I want to go ahead and give a brief about our new cyber threat intelligence plan that we have and that we're looking to implement here. Huge benefits, especially when it comes to cost savings, ensured confidence with our customers and other business partners, and we're able to, gain that valuable intel from our surrounding competitors and thwart a lot of the malicious attacks that are happening continuously within our system. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it. So first of all, um, when you think of cyber, usually you think of security, and a lot of people associate cyber with attacks, with hackers, and therefore, which is fine. But in this context, I'm talking about cyber threat intelligence, and I want to break that down into separate parts. And so this three-part is um, understanding the cyber portion. Obviously, cyber definitely deals with information technology, information systems, and security practices that are implemented, daily on these systems and these networks. Threat, most people understand what a threat is. And in this particular case, there's going to be some type of action, there's going to be some type of consequence or result that is looking to establish some type of malicious foothold or, you know, cause damage to a particular system. And intel, um, intelligence is usable. There's a way to there's methods to extract it from various resources and various sources, and then be able to correlate that, combine it, and be able to come away with useful information that then helps out the decision maker, um, you know, re- make the proper selection at the end of the day. Um, those are the three main elements of, just breaking down the term cyber threat intelligence. So, putting it together, obviously working in information systems or, our within our network, within the organization, and we're looking to gain intel on the various threats that are going to be attacking us. So this is taking a proactive approach when it comes to um, stopping those malicious attacks, whether they happen inside the organization and outside, and not just being on the defensive and watching for alerts and incomings as they hit our system. We can actually reach out and stop a lot of that before it happens. All right, moving on. Just the quick purpose of this cyber threat intelligence plan. Basically, it's a process. That process includes um, various tools, various skill sets that the engineers will then utilize to the best of their ability to go out there, recognize patterns, understand their current environment within a particular industry, um, both local and abroad, and be able to infiltrate those various threat groups and understand what they are looking for, what they are trying to attain, and ensure that we have those areas protected. Um, we're also able to ensure that there is a complete system out there that we have, and there are multiple entries as far as remote access, internal access, external, for different levels of permissions. It can be challenging. You don't know where to focus all your efforts at. No one understand where the attacks are coming from. And as we gain knowledge about those threats, we could then say, hey, okay, this seems to be area of focus at this point in time. And then later on, maybe there's another area of focus. Um, and we just kind of take a more in-depth look at that situation and at that threat to ensure that we do have the proper infrastructure in place to move forward. Next, we have basically just going out um, and being somewhat creative, um, but also somewhat in the mind of those various threat actors, I should say, and it always doesn't just come down to um, hackers, I should say, or malicious individuals who are no affiliation with the company. They're still external, and there's also un unintentional mishaps that happen and that allow content to be displayed or revealed in any sort of way that then causes damage to the company or profit loss. And that's why it's beneficial to be out there in the landscape, not just sit behind in the server room, not just sit around watching the screen, but to actively be out there, involved within the environment, um, to see what is happening, to see where the change of the tide is, to see where the focus are, and to see um, what threats and what hits are happening out there. I definitely, why would we be doing all this? The main reason is establish a proactive posture against current and future attacks. There are attacks happening consistently that I'm sure systems like ours are able to stop from penetrating deep into the system to cause any type of damage or harm, but that only lasts so long. And attackers get smart and they find weaknesses and they keep probing. Um, and you have various levels of those attackers, some with minimal resources, some with infinite resources that make it their day job to go on and whether it be disrupt services, um, try to destroy the confidence between us and our business partners, whatever the case may be. Um, and that's one of the main benefits that we can take away from this. Um, we can also ensure that we are protected um, when there is a very sophisticated attack that comes about. And like I said earlier, it diverts those resources, those time and money, and those engineers can have a way to make preparations in order to limit and mitigate, the fallout of a lot of these attacks. Because some attacks are just um, basically unstoppable, but we want to do everything we can and make sure we have all the right tools in place um, to not take the full blow, to not take, um, the most damage when it comes to these type of attacks. And also, um, a lot of what I've been saying is basically, we're ensuring that we know we're going to get attacked. How do we protect ourselves? And how do we get out there and ensure that we aren't just installing, the latest service packs and following some standard guide that anybody can read online, but we are actually recognizing what are the hits to our system, what are the hits when it comes to our particular business and our practices, and how do we protect those. Um, but another part of that is also being able to grab intelligence ourselves, not just to protect ourselves, but to um, make practical business decisions. There's plenty of information out there that is open source that people leave laying around that engineers can also, not only correlate possible attacks on ourselves, but correlate information that could be valuable for the organization to use, and then bring that up to the executive level um, where it could play a proper role into the decision making process. So the cyber threat intel plan, basically the agenda is discussing the handout that you have in front of you. It goes over our threats. I've mentioned some before with insiders, phishers, foreign attacks, and then action plan. What we have action plan definitely is details out um, what we can do, what we can start to do from day one, and how does that benefit us. And then I'll be able to answer questions at the end of the slide as well. But just another brief overview. We understand the insiders. Like I said, it could be inside personnel um, where they're looking to gain favor because they anticipate leaving the company. People who may or may not work here but have some type of access and know about our system. These disgruntled employees. Um, we also have our BD people out there who may find themselves in certain circumstances where they feel they can monetize the situation when it comes to our AKA slash business competitors and partners. and then just poor complacency when it comes to employees that really have no keen awareness on what they should and what they shouldn't be doing, and improper training. Next, we got fishers. There's definitely vendors and suppliers out there who make it their living to try to find out what programs are coming, what materials they're going to require, how much, when is their production phase, when is their development phase, and how can they benefit from that. And they're smart about that because we reach out to help, and for the most part, to ask them questions when we have these technical solutions. There's going to be aware what type of information that we give out. And then you got in other individuals who are tasked um, and looking to make a profit off of um, stealing data from the organization here, as well as our competitors. Last, what most individuals know about is the hackers. The people who are sitting somewhere behind a computer screen, um, somewhere in the basement. Um, but now it's not like that anymore. These people are out in the open. They have resources. They have the backing, and definitely have the knowledge. And they're able to get in, gain certain information and access that most people wouldn't be able to realize. And once they get in, they know how to hide themselves and create multiple backdoors so they can keep accessing the data and stay hidden for a very long time. Um, and so as we come in and we have the correct employees, we have the correct services and subscriptions, um, and now we have a link that feeds up through the executive branch and back down, so individuals know what to look for and executives know what information they're going to be getting. Um, and on the chart there, you can see the cost definitely outweighs cost saving definitely outweighs the implementation as we come in the first 4 month outlook. Um, the courses, the external employees, and the software. I did put a note there. 11 million annually is reported um, as profit loss within the industry here. That's a very high number. For some businesses, that's a killer for them, and they never able to recover. For some others, they can recover, but um, statistics like that won't allow them to last too long. So there's immediate benefit to going out, um, realizing where our weaknesses are, realizing where other weaknesses are that we can profit from as well, um, and get this cyber threat intel plan as one of our core services and core departments um, that feeds an organization overall. This details some of the action plans, some of the bullet points I had there. I kind of discussed these previously. Any questions?